An honor to have each and everyone here tonight gathered because tonight is a very, very special night and we'll get to know more about this evening's occasion. But let me start with, for a certain something to be successful, a positive emotion is much of a necessity. And what better way to celebrate appreciation but through a productive convention? Success is achieved through collective efforts, and this contributes to a strong structure. Each and everyone here plays a vital role in constructing a complex structure. A strong structure such as the strong force. So ladies and gentlemen, how about a big round of applause for Strong Force? Thank you very much. And by the way, once again, good evening. My name is John, your host and MC for tonight. And to continue the evening, here to share a little background and introduction about Strong Force. She's been in the company for 14 years. Ladies and gentlemen, the Executive Director of Strong Force-MGC. A big round of applause for Ms. Janti Patis.
So I remember the first time I had stepped foot in Bahrain. It was back in 2009. I was in the Abu Dhabi office with my brother, Sanjay. My father had said to me, Jane, take a flight to Bahrain and go see the Fontana Tower project site. I got on the plane, arrived in Bahrain, got into a car, and on the way to the project site, I spotted the Bahrain World Trade Center from a distance. And I thought to myself, I was in awe, and I was like, wow, how futuristic is this, you know? And the drive continued, and all of a sudden, I was not on tarmac roads anymore. We were driving in a big plot of sand, and I was like, there's just too much sand around me, with some few sprouting low-rise apartments. And the driver said finally, here it is, our project site. I was somewhat flabbergasted, coming from Kuala Lumpur and Abu Dhabi, where we're surrounded by buildings. So, I mean, don't get me wrong. We love, as contractors, we love the sight of space, of empty lands. Why? To us, it's an opportunity to create, to build, and to grow. And here we are today, 13 years later, and look at Jufair today, and look at Bahrain today. Welcome, and a pleasant evening to each and every one of you for taking the time to come and share this moment together. I'm sorry, there's not much space on this rostrum. I would like to personally welcome our honorary guest, His Excellency Mr. Shazril Zahiran, the Malaysian Ambassador to the Kingdom of Bahrain. The Ministry of Housing and Urban Planning, Mr. Reta, Mr. Mohammad Rashdan, and Ms. Balsam. From Gulf House, Ms. Nawal Karim. And finally, to our partner and our friend, Mr. Mohammad Al-Ghana. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So, the year was 1997, where it all ended and began. The Asian financial crisis, the worst ever to hit Southeast Asia. As with most crises, one of the industries that took the hardest hit was, of course, the construction industry. Indeed, it was the most challenging and trying period for all of us, and one that my father had to not just endure, but to fight through for himself, for the family, and for the people that he worked with, or worked with him. Resilience, hardship, determination, and extreme mental tenacity was the beginning to the end. The year 1998, Strong Force Engineering Malaysia was formed. Although a new entity, but the people in it were definitely not new to the industry, but neither were they young. We started with a team that averaged 30 years of experience in each of them. We achieved to land projects that are now iconic to Malaysia. From highway infrastructure to high-rise mixed developments, hospitals, convention centers, just to name a few. Then in 2004, we saw another breakthrough our first entry into the Middle East arena, the Dubai Airport Terminal 3 project with Al Nabuda and Laing Uruk. And I have to say we were unstoppable then. 2006, we officially formed Strong Force Malaysian General Contracting, in short SF-MGC, in Abu Dhabi, taking on the construction of the development of the Al Reem Islands and many other projects thereafter. And in 2008, in Bahrain, with the construction of Fontana Tower and Diplomat Tower concurrently. And again, here we are today, headquartered in Bahrain, and most recently reached our 1,000th project. Indeed, a proud moment for us. I'm proud to say that we have now expanded our operations into Saudi Arabia, and in the pipeline soon, hopefully, Yemen, and we have also taken on new projects in Sudan. We are gearing towards serving the MENA, Middle East, North African region. So we hold true to what we believe and mandate, which is to provide the best value engineering and construction solution built with craft and creativity, which would move our clients' businesses forward. We remain true to our founding values by complying to high industry standards, honesty, and hard work. Innovation and embracing emerging technologies and processes is a key element in our company. This evening is an appreciation to each and every one of you involved in the Madinat Salman housing development. We are a company defined by powerful partnerships. Our differences and what we do may set us apart, but together we view you as our strategic partners working collaboratively. Today, we celebrate some great results from Strong Force-MGC. On behalf of the leaderships of Strong Force-MGC, I would like to take this opportunity to honor the people within the organization. Our technical team of engineers and draftspersons, our operations team, our commercial and contracts team, and all our support services. What we have created here is an exceptional thing. Make no mistake about that. It isn't every day that a group of individuals come together in a workplace and choose to channel their skills for the common good. Together, we have achieved first-class results, and we are proud of you. Thank you for exceeding our expectations. Thank you.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, the Executive Director of Strong Force-MGC, Ms. Janti Patis. So once again, good evening. How's everybody? All good? Yeah, I love the smiles on your faces. So anyways, tonight, we should feel light, because this is, as we say, an evening of appreciation. So, we should be happy, of course. And to continue the program, usually we showcase talents, but tonight we showcase the project for Strong Force. And no better way to showcase this but through these two handsome gentlemen of Strong Force. How about a big round of applause for Mr. Sharat, Senior Technical Manager, and Mr. Hamza, the Technical Manager. Sir, please join us.
90 kilometers of micropile in length, 10 football grounds equivalent of post-tension raft, 30 Olympic-sized swimming pool in terms of volume, 70,000 meter cubes of concrete, which is approximately 8,000 concrete trucks, and 76% reduction of CO2 emission. Good evening, my dear colleagues and dignitaries. Yes, all what we were saying was about one of the largest micropile post-tension raft, which we built in Madinat Salman. This was further recognized and appreciated by Bentley System, a US-based firm who is specialized in design and high-end infrastructure products. And therefore, we can proudly say, yes, we did this together. I'll let my colleague, Mr. Hamza, explain more insights about this fascinating achievement. Over to you, Hamza.
Thank you, Sharat. Assalamu alaikum, ladies and gentlemen, our distinguished and esteemed guests. We are glad to welcome you tonight to celebrate this remarkable moment together for achieving the world's largest micropiled post-tension draft foundation project, which recently has awarded the Year in Infrastructure 2021 award or certification of excellence from Bentley System. Bentley System is one of the most recognized companies in the world that provides solutions and design tools and technologies for construction engineers. It's almost like Microsoft, but for civil engineering and construction engineering in general. Today's fruit was a result from everyone's, including us, of course, from everyone's hardworking and endless efforts made from years ago before we started on site. We in Strong Force were lucky enough to be involved in the early stage of this project with the client, consultant, soil specialists, and laboratories. We have been involved in discussions, debates, I will not say fighting, research, evaluation, disk studies, and soil investigation programs. So from beginning, the main key solution was about geotechnical engineering. And we do believe in Strong Force, same as in medicine for human beings. In geotechnical engineering, there is no one solution fits all. We in Strong Force are evaluating each and every foundation system separately on project-to-project basis and case-to-case basis. Having this being said, we in Strong Force are speaking two languages, geotechnical and structural. And we do believe both of them side by side and hand by hand should be considered in all the project stages or phases as early as possible, even before deciding on the amount and the quantity of the soil investigation program. In Strong Force, we usually love the simplicity. We start with shallow foundations. From a value engineering mindset, shallow foundation usually provide the least cost possible. So we are trying our best to work this out. With a BT Raft foundation, which is a post-tension Raft foundation to be more specific. However, in some challenging projects, which is the case of Madinat Salman project, we have difficulties and contributing factors that can affect the decision on the most suitable foundation system. Some of those factors were the high-rise residential tower loads with large spans, which induce high or very stresses loading on the foundation system. The soft reclaimed soil layer, the relatively deep rock bed layer, and the most important factor, the presence of artesian aquifer, which shall be protected, undisturbed, and environmentally preserved. For such kind of conditions or difficulties, the soil contact pressure or deformation might be exceeding the allowable limits specified underneath the raft foundation. In such cases, a standalone raft foundation might not be sufficient and need to be improved by a foundation supporting elements. Among all the different elements, we have adopted micropiles, which was the most viable, safe, and has the least impact on the aquifer. Among all different micropiles type, we have adopted TRM, ductile iron-driven micropiles, for its ease of use, fast installation rate, and environmental saving, as we will discuss in a minute. However, yet we have used the micropiles wisely. We haven't just filled our raft with micropiles. We use them only where needed to control the foundation stresses to the allowable limits or to control the deformation. This has resulted in a system we know in civil engineering as micropiled raft foundation system, where both the micropiles and raft foundation are sharing the loads. The load sharing percentage between the raft and the micropiles, and the interaction between the micropiles and the soil, the raft and the soil, the micropiles among themselves, and the whole foundation system with the superstructure interactions are quite complicated and sophisticated, and it needs high level of nonlinearity in soil constitutive modeling which can be captured and evaluated using the right tools and technical expertise. Tools like 3D or three-dimensional soil structure interactions are capable of doing so, which we have adopted in this project. Furthermore, each and every micropiles being driven on site, our team were monitoring, testing, and recording the data for those micropiles, and the data was fed back into our design models on daily basis, which kept enhancing the accuracy and the decision making for our design models. This eventually has resulted in the most optimum and value engineered micropiled post-tension draft foundation in terms of quantity of the micropiles and the layout of the BT or post-tension draft foundation. As a result, this provides us with environmental green saving in terms of CO2 emission reduction by approximately 76%, which is quite a lot. To spice it up more and increase the confidence in our designs, we have adopted real-time and automated foundation and structural health monitoring system. We have used it in our Raft foundations mainly to provide us with glimpses of real-time monitoring data that will provide and enhance reality-based designs in the future. Last but not least, they say photos worth millions of samples. Worth millions of words, but samples worth millions of photos. If you haven't seen our micropiles before, please feel free later to see the micropile sample we have brought today on my left on the table. And meanwhile, I will end and leave you with a short animation video that shows you the process of the micropiles and the micropile draft or the micropile BT Raft foundation system from the early stage until the completion. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, everyone. So this project was unique in many, many ways, as what we explained. There were challenges like any other projects, but there were people, there were this team who have gathered here to overcome all these challenges to achieve the global recognition which everyone appreciates of what we have done. This project, as we said, has a long history, and I'm sure will have a long future, will also have a lot of achievements to come in the future. As they say, good things comes to an end, but for us, this is just a beginning. We did a simple video on the whole site activity over the last 4.5 months during the Micropiled and the post-tension Raft. We hope you like this. Can we have the video on the screen, please? Thank you, everyone. Enjoy the evening.
So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, how about a big round of applause for Mr. Sharat and Mr. Hamza? Thank you, gentlemen. The two handsome gentlemen of Strong Force. All right, so, wow. For me, honestly, I'm not into construction, but that was information overload. But it was good, you know. We get to know more about how we construct and build and all this. And, you know, I just recently found out, just tonight, that Strong Force contributes to, you know, eco-friendliness. So this is really nice that we are all aware of conserving, you know, our environment. Thank you very much. Once again, how about a big round of applause for Strong Force? Thank you very much. And now, moving forward, he saw an exponential growth within the organization. And that has revolutionized the construction industry here in Bahrain. He is a visionary leader, the founder, and the CEO of Strong Force-MGC. Ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause for Mr. Patis Naidu. Good evening, sir.
Good evening. It is indeed an honor and pleasure to have all of you gathered here today to this event, an evening of appreciation. A very warm welcome to Your Excellency, Mr. Shashirul Saisan, the Malaysian Ambassador to the Kingdom of Bahrain, together with the First Secretary of the Malaysian Embassy, Madam Siti Fasha. A big thank you for your attendance to grace this event. Also to grace this event, our clients from the Ministry of Housing, Mr. Reda, the Assistant Under Secretary for the Housing Projects, Mr. Mohammad Rasdan, the Director of Projects, Construction and Maintenance, Madam Balsam, Director of Housing Projects, Planning and Design, and Madam Nawal, General Manager of Gulf of Engineering, and of course, my partner, Mohammad Al-Ghana of Al-Ghana Holdings. I would like to utilize this platform to express our deep gratefulness to the members of the project who worked relentlessly. Needless to say, every participant of the project contributed equally. My sincere thanks to the clients, the Ministry of Housing, to the design consultants, Gulf of Engineering, supervision consultant, Salfo Ansari, the main contractors, Chapo Harudus Joint Venture for Package 3 and 4, Almoyad for Package 1 and 2. TRM, ductile pipe manufacturer and supplier with their technical support. And we also had H consultants here represented by Ms. Bianca. H worked in the background together with us in assisting in the PT Raft design. Brian Louie, third-party technical review for both the geotechnical and structural design. Solidarity Insurance, they are here also, who provided us with all the professional indemnity insurance. Delmont Concrete for Package 3 and 4, and National Concrete for 1 and 2 for all the supply of grout. Al-Hidaria Excavators. And we have International Lab, ILS, providing all the testing facilities, and most of the people I already mentioned, we ought to thank them for. I also want to take this opportunity to share the challenges faced by us, especially on this Medina Salaman project because of its scale. 90 kilometers of micropiles and a raft equal to 10 football fields in area, and with 70,000 cubic concrete, it was a challenge for us, both technically and operationally. Technically, introducing micropile with a PT raft for a job of this scale as a foundation itself was a challenge. But I must thank Gulf of Engineering because when the first time the project was given to them to design, I'm sure they did look at many options. And we were also called at that stage and to give our input. And because of the presence of aquifer and soil conditions and all this, we proposed a micropile raft. And I still remember giving a presentation to Mr. Ara and Mr. Mustafa there, who else? Ministry of Housing, I think, was represented by Haj. And just a presentation, and then I think, I'm sure you had done your evaluation and came up. And the tender was, a conforming tender was on micropile raft. So that made our life easier. Although it was designed as a micropile raft foundation, there were issues. People were looking at us and thinking, what do I say? Our biggest challenge was people's mindset. People had doubts. People were looking at us, is this the right thing to do? But this is quite normal. For me, being in this industry for more than 45 years, just doing value engineering, bringing new technologies to the market, innovation, this is normal. Doubts are always there. Starting back in Singapore in the 75, in the mid-70s, when post-tensioning was introduced to buildings, which was new, because post-tensioning was only on bridges or bridge girders. And it was introduced to buildings then, and we had this problem we're going through. So it's normal to have doubts. But at the end of the day, what we achieved, we changed the doubters to believers. That was an achievement on the technical side. Operation-wise, okay, a scale of this job with 90 kilometers of Micropiled. We started the job in the middle of the COVID-19 pandemic. The first shipment of TRM Micropiles were stuck in the Suez Canal blockage for 3 to 4 weeks. Then starting work in the middle of summer with temperatures above 40 degrees Celsius. And one of the important aspects of the Micropiled is the grouting, because it's a pile based on skin friction. So grouting is a very important part of the system. And getting the right grout makes the workability, the setting time, and all these were challenges. And then came the logistics issues. We were not able to get shipments. You can't get containers, can't get ships. We went through it. You name it, we went through all the difficulties. But despite all the challenges, the strong Force-MGC team did not buckle. They stood resilient. We believed in ourselves, and I'm proud of you guys in the strong Force-MGC team. The other experience I wanted to share in this is the weekly site meetings, both technically and on the site progress, which I made it a point to attend whenever possible. Most of the meetings were chaired either by Mr. Jaishankran or Jeff from Gulf Coast Engineering. What I liked about a meeting is there was no bashings. You know, contractors are always sitting in meetings getting bashed by the client and consultants. Yeah, we were a team. I think there was always very cordial and together, the common thing is to deliver the project. And that was an atmosphere in all the meetings. So looking back, I'm greatly honored to say that this Medina Salman project team had converted into a family, the project being our child. The other thing is, I want to share here is this project, Medina Salman, will be in the world map soon, because we have 2 international events where this project of Micropiled Raft will be presented by us. The first one is organized by TRM itself, an international summit in October in Germany, where we are asked to go and present ourselves, both technically and operationally, what we did. The second one is an international workshop on micropiles in Colorado, USA, which is the first week of June next year. We have written to the organization, the ISM, they call it International Society of Micropiles, to present a paper on the Medina Salman project. So these 2 events will put Bahrain in the map, in the world map. The other thing is that we have in the people who supported us, there was the University of Bahrain. Why I mention University of Bahrain is, in our organization, we have 9 engineers from the University of Bahrain, and most of them came to us a year ago as training engineers, but today they are with us full time. In my years of working in Singapore, Malaysia, in South Asia, I always was looking for good talent. Those days, we used to pick students from the Singapore University, and subsequently I found another good place to find good talented people were from the Asian Institute of Technology in Bangkok. But the Bahrain University is producing very good, young, talented, and promising people. And we are happy to have you all here. And with that, I conclude my part of it, and then I would like to invite Your Excellency, the Ambassador, to come and say a few words.
Assalamu alaikum and a very good evening, everybody. Mr. Reda Muhammad Al-Adraj, the Assistant Undersecretary of the Housing Projects, Ministry of Housing, now Ministry of Housing and Urban Planning. Mr. Muhammad Abdul Aziz Rashdan, Director of Housing Projects, Construction and Maintenance, Ministry of Housing. Ms. Balsama Ali Abdul Ali Al-Salman, Planning and Design, Ministry of Housing. Ms. Nawa Karim, Gulf Housing Engineering. Mr. Muhammad Al-Ghana, Executive Director of Al-Ghana Holding. And not forgetting, Mr. Patis Naidu, Founder, CEO, Strong Force-MGC. Friends, members of media, ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great honor and pleasure to be able to join you this evening in this joyous occasion to celebrate Malaysia's very own company, Strong Force-MGC, who has now arrived and making its mark in this wonderful kingdom of Bahrain in a very, very niche, specialized, with precision, high technology in the engineering, particularly in the sector of construction. Being a diplomat, I have to admit, when I was, in a way, briefly introduced about what Strong Force-MGC was doing, I have to say I was really very perplexed. I couldn't understand anything, a word that Mr. Patis mentioned to me. But upon sitting just now and learning briefly from your wonderful two engineers, it broadened my knowledge slightly more and was able to say and understand with in-depth little bit more about what you have done and what you have contributed to this particular industry. And I'm very, very proud to see what you have done and achieved since you have made your way into Bahrain itself. And allow me as well, I have to say that the intricacy of engineering with cutting-edge design and solutions provided by SF-MGC is truly a job that requires outstanding people to do so. Therefore, I congratulate all of you here who are with SF-MGC, and please give yourself a round of applause. To me, upon listening as well, I can say that I can never go about to even give such a good presentation upon learning of what you have done and where have you brought yourself into this particular area. And being someone and a company that brought in 13 years of experience or 14 years of experience coming into this particular region is an achievement, and undoubtedly something everybody should be proud of, especially for me. You know, being here to see one engineering company from Malaysia making its mark in the Kingdom of Bahrain, and inshallah as well in West Asia and North Africa, probably as well, breaking the world record, inshallah, in the coming times. Looking at it, nothing is impossible, everything is possible. I believe so, and I believe all of you duly believe so in that. So, having in mind that, I think I need also to recognize the achievement done, which could not have come about without the support and confidence rising from the minuscule problems to the bigger problems in creating an environment for people to understand the elements that is required in this particular area. So, thank you, the Ministry of Housing and Urban Planning of the Kingdom of Bahrain. My utmost gratitude to your team who have made them possible. And I also would like to also say, not forgetting the thankfulness and gratitude to your partner, Gulf Housing Engineering, as well as Ghana Holding, for their collaboration in this particular sector. Before I end, I think I would do no justice if I do not take this opportunity to express my deepest pride to congratulate SF-MGC for the outstanding achievement in receiving the award, the Bentley System in Infrastructure for 2021 for the largest micropiled post-tension Raft foundation. Congratulations. I hope this highest recognition by a world-renowned body would be an impetus for SF-MGC in achieving greater success and possibly breaking a world record in this highly specialized area. The name, Strong Force. If you know Star Wars, they say, may the Force be with you. So I leave you. May the strong Force be with you. Thank you, and good evening.
Are we in October? So I felt like I was in Oktoberfest, but we'll get to know more about his outfit, ladies and gentlemen. The manufacturing, production, and new technology of the TRM ductile piles, all the way from Austria, TRM Piling Director, Mr. Erich Steinlechner. Good evening, sir.
Yeah, thanks. So it's not Oktoberfest, what he means. It's really our traditional dress. And when Batis was approximately 2 weeks ago in Austria, and he more or less insisted me to come, I said, I'm coming with my leather trousers. He said, no way, no way. I said, here I am, and it's not Oktoberfest, okay? Good. I prepared also some words. His Excellency, all the rest, I know you, most of you I know, but not all really particular in your name. I want to say a warm welcome from Tiroler at TRM. And now I also need my glasses because I'm getting older. Service is our success. This was actually said by the most famous Austrian Formula One driver, Niki Lauda, who actually passed away a couple of years, when he started his airline 1979. As Tyrolean, we would like to add a little bit to this meaning. We are adding work hard and with sincerity. Sincerity means something for us really deep. It's somehow in our DNA. We don't want to promise something we cannot hold on. I just remembered when Batis said all the problems with transport, with the containers sticking in the Suez port, and said, oh my God, I promised something which I cannot hold. But please forgive me that I'm not can control ever given anymore. But nevertheless, second picture please. When TRM started in 1947, right after the Second World War, the aim for our company was mainly to provide drinking water for the people. Maybe just to give you a number, nearly 95% of all drinking water tubes, lines were damaged, destroyed after the Second World War. And people here in the Kingdom of Bahrain, and also me feeling the heat when you're coming out of the airport, having 35 degrees at 2 o'clock in the morning, which I had today. Water, we need water. We need water. Since 1986, we started also providing our fast, simple, safe with our TRM piling system. So now also over 30 years. Our aim is still piling technique at its highest quality and state-of-the-art knowledge in material and application. Was our TRM world in the first 50 years until 2000 really just local, meaning TRM, or meaning Austria, because there was our main market? We were realizing that there's so much more, and when I see you all here, I think 20 years ago we made the right step to go outside of Austria, a little bit open. There's so much more friends everywhere, projects everywhere, and it's really fantastic. So we were sure it was the right time for bringing the smartest piling system on this planet, as we would like to say, or we hope. But now comes a big but, and you know all this big but, and you heard it before. Without help of you, the successful story would not be there. So let me start thanking, first of all, to the client. The client is the most important, the Ministry of Housing. Mr. Rashtan, without an open client, you have no chance. So think about all the discussion what we had on the beginning, which cost us nearly 4 years now until we are here now. But without an open client, you have no chance. Also, thank you to Gulf House, to my friend Mustafa. As I said today, when the building is finished, 21 floors, we will be standing up there and it will be holding. Because you always said on the beginning, do you have some references? I said, no, sorry, even I have not such a big project. But I believe in my system, and I hope you can believe soon. I also remember Mustafa always said, do we have standards? I said, no standards. You also had no standards, but we found standards. We found really good practice recommendations, reports, and everything. So this amazing, outstanding project, Medinat Salman, was showing to us, TRM, that we need to do something, because we realized suddenly there's much more to do. So we started and we are investing now in our factory, nearly 13 million euros, because we want to increase our production from 1 million linear meters up to 1.5 million linear meters, and hope you will see it soon. The whole thing should be done by end of October, beginning of November, and we are ready by next year beginning to bring much more piles into the market. So thanks to the client, thanks to the designers, thanks to the rest, but of course I need to say thank you to our really good partner, Strongforce. Your team made the thinking on white paper, as I like to say, true. Made all our design and imaginations coming to real life. You made also doubts going away. Sometimes I remember if we had some doubts, but sometimes they are still in my mind that we had some doubts on the beginning, but they're gone. It's simply a great achievement, and this will be presented, as Patti said, this year by our TRM Piling Summit, which is an event which we're doing every 2 years. And the majority of installers worldwide will be attending there in Germany in October. Also on the ISM, as Patti also said, on the International Society of Micropiles, we will present this project. Finally, let me thank also to the Kingdom of Bahrain, which gave us this chance to realize the biggest project also in TRM history. Yeah? So I think Patti said 5 minutes. I'm a little bit over, and I think I'm the last one, yeah? So. Can we start now? Okay. I give it all back. So, thank you.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, TRM Piling Director, all the way from Austria, Mr. Erich Steinlechner. Thank you, sir. So, without further ado, that was the last. I think everybody's feeling what I'm feeling as well. We'd like to formally open the buffet, so please feel free. And afterwards, we shall be having some entertainment. So, ladies and gentlemen, dinner is served. Please feel free. See you in a bit. See the reasons why our love's alive. You and I were drifting safely back to shore, and I think I finally learned to love you more. Do 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 do. Ooh, ooh. Thank you very much. That was something from George Benson. Thank you. Good evening once again. Hope you guys are enjoying the dinner. I'd like to present to you our next singer, all the way from the Philippines, and she's been to Malaysia also. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for Miss Sheen.
A few stolen moments is all that we share. You get your family and they need you there. Though I try to resist being last on your list, but know what the man's gonna do. So I'm saving all my love for you. It's not very easy living all alone. My friends try and tell me find a man of my own, but each time I try, I just break down and cry, 'cause I'd rather be home than lose. So I'm saving all my love for you. You used to tell me we'd run away together. Love gives you the right to be free. You said be patient, just wait a little longer, but that's just an old fantasy. I've got to get ready, just a few